Do you remember the truck attack on the joggers and the pedestrians in New York City? The guy had went down and rented a Home Depot pickup truck. I guess it was a flatbed, but it was basically a pickup truck, and he used that in New York City to run these folks down. Okay, ladies and gents, and here is the guy that did the run over all the pedestrians and the joggers and so forth up in New York City. And he had went and rented a Home Depot pickup truck, and you can see the front end is tore all to hell. But this is the first photograph I found, so I'm going to go and find some others and see what all kind of damage was done as far as anybody being able to stop. Okay, and here you can see, I don't remember the exact story on this, but he hit this the small school bus here, and that's what stopped him. So, you know, they're using vehicles as weapons. Just think if it had been a bomb. I mean, that could have been really, really freaking bad. I guess that's what was stopping him. But see, that's the damn thing. You can't, trying to get a concealed carry permit in New York City or New York State is like pulling King Kong's teeth with a pair of regular pliers. You know, it's impossible down there. And so you have these damn gun-free states and gun-free zones, and this is where all the attacks happen. It still shocks me what happened in California, or excuse me, Texas, in El Paso and other places, and you know, the one guy there in the small town that shot up the church, well, it was an NRA certified instructor and shooter and so forth, and he put a damn stop to it. He didn't get there until it was a little late, but you know what? The guy wasn't able to make an escape and continue killing other people, because the person he had in mind was his ex-mother-in-law. He wanted her dead. Well, he didn't get the opportunity because an NRA member put a stop to that damn mess. What about the couple, the Islamic couple who shot up that nursing home, that medical center, and then ran people down in their car while they were shooting the hell out of everybody in sight out there in California a couple of years back? Or how about the truck attack in Nice, France? And we're talking about a class, I guess it would be in the United States, probably a class 5, class 6, but anyway, you need a class B license to operate such a vehicle. Then, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm having to reshoot the whole damn thing. There's the steering wheel. I had always assumed in Europe that the driver's side was on the left side as you're looking at the truck from this angle. In the United States, that would be the passenger side, and apparently it is the passenger side in this truck, because there's the steering wheel. Again, all the bullet holes led me to believe this was the driver's side. You'd think they'd be shooting at the driver's side, and instead they're shooting at the passenger side, and the driver's side is the same as in America. The thing is, if he's ducking down, you got such a small area that you can hit if he's looking through between the steering wheel and the top of the dash. You've got 1, 2, 3 bullet holes. There you go. This is the best shot I can get of it, daylight. I'm wondering if in Europe it's either or, and then heavy duty trucks, which this is not even near in the same category as a heavy duty truck. This is medium duty at the very best, as far as medium heavy. But yep, there's the driver's side. The majority of the bullet holes are on the left side. And instead of aiming for the damn windshield, because you know the guy's going to duck, aim right in here. You may have a few components here, but here's your windshield wiper arm here. Here's your windshield wiper arm. It looks like it's here and goes up. I'm not sure. But you've got a rod that runs right across here. There's the motor, I think, or maybe even possibly there. But you're wanting to shoot right at the very bottom of the windshield, which you've got a couple of hits here and a couple of hits there, but right in here is nothing but sheet metal and the steering column itself, if indeed that's what it looks like. I am not familiar with European trucks, but that's where I'd be aiming at. I'd unload a damn gun onto some gun, or even at an angle coming in here from the side trying to hit the bastard. Because when you hit him in the legs, the groin, the gut, that dude is not going to be able to concentrate on killing too damn many more people when he is in the friggin' hurt locker. But yeah, I had assumed all European vehicles were right-hand drive, like the British cars and so forth. And see, the windshield on these automobiles, I cannot tell, and these are facing the camera, I cannot tell which side the steering column is on, the steering wheel. Here's your really good shot. The glass from the driver's side window. And the door itself, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes in it, and right here in this, I guess that must be a miniature sleeper on this truck. It's a day cab pretty much, but it's got a tiny area here that could be a sleeper, I guess. I don't know much about European cab overs and trucks and so forth, but they got a really good side shot here. Someone had hit the A pillar here, it looks like, but right in here is a weak point if you're in front of the truck shooting at it. Okay, earlier when I was first started doing this video, I had misidentified it because I was thinking the driver's side was on the other side, and all there is in front of it is this tank. This tank is a surge tank for the coolant, or the windshield washer fluid, or maybe it's a split reservoir and there's a little bit of each, and that's pretty daggone much it. Because I had misidentified it. This thing was, the guy was on the same side as American drivers. So that's the thing. If I were traveling in Europe, I would be paying attention to what side of the vehicle the drivers are on. And maybe in France, it's the same side as the United States. But then in England, it would be on the exact opposite side. So it is something to know about. Okay. If you're a concealed carry permit holder in the United States, of course, we all know we drive on the same side, on the left side of the vehicle, and you know, it's just maddening that this happened and the guy killed so many people. That was a bit worse mass killing than all the mass shootings except for the one in Vegas, but this guy did it in a hell of a lot faster time. I think the death toll was about the same. The truck used in the Nice, France attack is a Class B straight truck, which, like I said, is probably class, the vehicle itself is probably like a Class 6 or 7. Or maybe a 5 or 6, I don't know. But anyway, you have to have a Class B license to drive that straight truck. Here in the States, it would have a maximum legal weight of 26,001 pounds unless it is towing a trailer. Your car or your pickup truck or your Suburban weighs between 1 and 2 tons. That's 2,000 to 4,000 pounds. Okay? Maybe a little more with the passengers and cargo. The niche trucks was a cab-over engine configuration. In other words, this is a conventional. You have the cab, and you have a hood. The engine is under the hood. In a cab-over, the engine is actually under between the driver's seats. In the older style cab-over trucks, like the first one I drove, and I'll try to see if I can find some photo if I can get it to work in this program. But the engine is directly beside you under the cab. In the old style trucks, you had this thing that protruded up out of the floor. It was usually, I don't know, maybe a little higher in your hips if you're sitting in the driver's seat. Anyway, it was called a doghouse. In the newer model trucks, especially in Europe, you usually have a flat floor. But that's one on a truck with a sleeper on it. Okay, you can watch the original movie, The Transporter, with Jason Statham, in which he was in Europe and they're chasing and running him down in the trucks or whatever. I don't remember exactly how it went, but those cab overs there are completely different than the American style cab over. Okay, here's your big one. I guess in Europe this would be considered Class 8, what we consider Class 8 in the States, and it's your classic cab over. It has side fairings on the modern ones, single drive axle, single steer axle, and well, it looks to me like this is the driver's position of this one's on the same way as in the United States. So maybe it's different in different places. I don't know, but that's the daggum thing about it. If you live there, you pretty much know which side of a vehicle they're going to be driving on. But you know, same deal. Shoot right straight through there. Just shoot the hell out of it, because you're going to get his groin, his lower abdomen, stomach, legs, knees, feet, you know, whatever. Stop the threat. Okay, right here with my fingers, that's a fuel cap. Right in here, on top of the fuel tank, is where you're going to see your hoses. So if there's no fairing there, all you got to do is fracture those damn hoses, ladies and gentlemen, on top of the fuel tank. Boom, it'll start sucking air. In just a moment, it'll run, slap out of fuel. You just disabled the vehicle. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is a typical European-style truck. It's a Volvo. And in this particular one, you can see where my cursor is, the pointer. That's the driver on the, from our point of view, is on the left side of the truck. You have exposed fuel tanks. The sending unit that tells the driver, that sends electrical signal up to the gauge to tell the driver how much fuel he has, as well as the pickup, the line, the fuel line that draws the fuel out, is generally located on the top of the fuel tank. Our Volvo trucks we have at work, that's where the fuel comes out and goes up to the filtration system and then through the fuel pump. And generally there's another high pressure filter that is after the pump that filters it even finer. And then it goes, of course, into the engine and all. But like I was saying earlier, this is all that is between the driver of the truck and your shot if the situation arises, such as in Nice, France. Let's go and find some video of that. So while you're over there banging away at the damn tires, the truck can keep rolling. You shot the hell out of the radiator. It takes a while to dump that much water. There's a hell of a lot more coolant in the engine than there is oil. Okay? On these cab over models, especially the ones that are just in their city, they're not going to be out on the road and all, and the roads are so damn rough. A lot of them do not have the fairings and the skirts, such as on this model here. You've got the back of the cab fairings here, and you have the fairings from the front tire all the way to the rear, right up to the drives, and nowadays you've got even more. I mean, seeing under all that, you know, it would be very hard to see where to shoot. But on these cab overs, these inner city cab overs and so forth, a lot of times the oil filters and the fuel filters are exposed. If it is passing you, shoot the hoses and pipes on the top of the fuel tank. We already said that. Either side, if it has two tanks, one on either side. If damaged even a little bit, will allow air into the system, the fuel pump will lose its prime and the truck will grind to a halt very quickly. And of course, shoot through the damn doors and the windshield if you see the driver. So if he's passing you this way, shoot through the damn doors, of course. Just remember, if it's in Europe, the driver's on this side. The United States is on this side. I think in Canada it's also on this side. I know when I went to Canada years back, we were driving on the same side of the highway as we were here in the United States. And I think on ice road truckers, and I mean, we use vehicles in both countries that are manufactured here pretty much. And I think all the guys are on that side. So Canada will be that other place that knows how to drive on the correct side of the highway. Sorry about that, Europe, but you guys, I mean, I'm sorry for you. So if there's no fairings, it's one of these cab over types, and you see the damn fuel filters hanging out, or the oil filter, shoot the hell out of it. Fuel filters, again, the engine loses its fuel supply, grinds to a halt. Oil filters, because the oil flow volume is so high and fast, it run completely dry in short order. Modern engines all have self-protection sensors that will shut the engine down to protect it from any damage. Okay? The same applies to coolant loss, but as already stated, there's a lot more coolant, so it will take a bit longer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's say it's a tractor-trailer combination that's doing the mowing down. It's killing folks left and right, and you're in between buildings, in an alcove, a doorway, behind trees or something that it cannot run down without disabling the vehicle, so the guy bypasses you. You see this red air line right here? That is your supply line, your emergency line to supply the trailer with air to release the brakes. Right here, this is called the glide hand. Shoot the damn glide hand. Take it out. Okay, this is a photograph. You can see this glide hand. Now, these are disconnected, of course. This glide hand is a red, but it's got the hoses black. Then you've got the pigtail, which supplies electricity for all your lights, your ABS system, and so forth. And on this one, you can see the sliver of blue right here. That is your service line. That is what pushes air through when you apply the brakes, the service brake with the brake pedal and or the what you call the Johnny bar, the T-handle, the trailer brake handle valve that is separate. And that's what its job is. If you shoot this one and destroy it, and that's all that is cast aluminum. That's all that is. There's nothing. You can hit it with a hammer really hard and break the hell out of it. Destroy it. They instantly lose the air pressure in the trailer. Boom, trailer brakes are locked down, and that vehicle is, for all intents and purposes, disabled. Now, here's the deal. These trucks are so damn strong, they can continue pulling that trailer even with the brakes locked down in many cases, if the driver knows his damn business. If he doesn't know his business, that dude stops. I mean, it'll drag the damn tires flat and all, but the deal is he's going to lose momentum. If he tries to shift, if he doesn't drop 2 or 3 gears very quickly, it'll choke it right out. I mean, really quickly. Slow the vehicle down. Then you can jump up on the side, drag that sumbitch out, and just stomp his ass. And I do mean stomp his face in the dirt. Curb stomp that sumbitch. Okay, and here's another configuration. You do have the plastic line, which is all red. You have the handles, the extension out there so you don't accidentally break that plastic line. And then, of course, on the glide hand itself, right up here, where my cursor is at, is the metal part that is the lock. The opposite is this, and that's the glide hand. Shoot that. You shoot that red line anywhere in there, or right there especially, because you hit that and it'll shatter. It'll bust all to pieces, and that is it. It will disable. It will lock down the trailer brakes, and if not, even if it doesn't 100% stop the vehicle, it will make them. I mean, they will be having a bad damn day. But yeah, shoot this part right here, the glide hand itself. If you can hit the hose, that's one damn thing. But remember, you don't want to damn miss and it go over there and hit another innocent bystander. So shoot at an angle, if at all possible, and hit this right here. And you see on this particular trailer, you see this line. That is what is actually, you know, it will swing back and forth. And that line is what actually is going into the rear of the trailer to release those damn brakes. And then, of course, you always have the air spring itself. You can destroy one of those, and you've got an air line coming into the top, and then you've got one bolt that holds it generally in place. But if you can destroy an air spring, which is just rubber bag, is all it is, a diaphragm basically, and it fills with air, and that's what the truck and trailer and the loader is being supported on. But if you can destroy the air spring, destroy the air brake itself. Okay, I don't even know if I should even waste my time showing this, but I will do it anyway. This is a brake chamber. I think it's a 30-30 brake chamber. This is what is the parking brakes, the emergency braking system on a heavy-duty tractor or trailer. And you can see this is air ride beam, and it's got a big air bag, air spring back here. But anywho, sometimes they're facing to the front of the vehicle. Sometimes they're facing, this portion is facing to the rear. But here are your air lines. I do believe this here is cast aluminum. Here is the deal. If you can shoot into this and bust this damn thing, especially this air hose here, it is what releases, or it releases a parking brake by pushing a big rubber diaphragm to the rear, inflating it to the rear, and what it does is it compresses the spring inside there, which allows this rod to be released or pushed backwards, and that releases your parking brake. But if you can hit these air lines, or you can damage this area in here and dump the air out of that thing, that will lock down at least one wheel, if not both or more. You know, it just depends on how fast the air leak is, because if the engine on the truck's revving really high and the air compressor's worth the dang, it can keep up with a substantial amount of air loss and continue to roll without locking down all the other brakes. But if that is the only shot you can get, and you can hit it in here, and the airlines, especially this top one on this particular photograph, because you see this says service brake, and this will be the parking brake emergency brake right here. So that would be the one you want to damage. But if you can fracture the body of it, it can start dumping that air and lock down at least one wheel. I will tell you straight up though, that don't mean crap really to a heavy duty truck. They'll just keep on dragging it. I had 3 times in my career where either a bearing stacked and locked the wheel down, or the brake cammed over because the brake pads or the drum was wore slap out, or something of that nature that locked one entire wheel down, both tires on that wheel, and it drug them flat, and I didn't even know it. The truck didn't even act like anything had happened, but it did not fracture, and it was not losing a massive amount of air. So like I said, if that's the only damn shot you can get, and you got to hit it here, hitting it here does no good, because there's a big coil spring in there, and it'll stop that damn shot more than likely. You may fracture some of the bullet fracture, may get down in there and damage the diaphragm, but the likelihood of that happening is not very high. It's just not. So this may not even, it may be a waste of time to look at it, but still, if it's passed, it has passed you, whether it's bobtail, a straight truck, a freaking bus, or a tractor trailer. If you can damage this, you can at least put them in the hurt locker. And if all else fails, baby, it'll catch the damn, once the tires run flat, or if the brake's dragging without actually locking a wheel completely down, it can catch fire. But that's way the hell out the rear of the vehicle. It ain't gonna do them no damn good, or do you any good as far as stock. Of course, all of this information is moot if the vehicle is a car or truck bomb. But maybe you can prevent it from getting to its intended target. That in and of itself is a victory. Wars against radical Islam or the Japanese Empire or the Nazis, wars are won one battle at a time. Now I'm going to do some close-ups with these little vehicles and add it to it. But ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter if it's a Class 8 huge truck like this, and this is the only model of a damn car pickup that's big enough to mount anything. Know where to shoot it. You can disable it with a handgun just like you can with a rifle. Matter of fact, honestly, it's probably a little easier to disable one of these than it is a modern automobile, because the modern automobile, you got all the electronics, and you know, you don't have a distributor and so forth. And on top of that, is it front wheel drive or is it rear wheel drive? Until it loses enough coolant or oil pressure, the only other way you're going to stop it is if you hit the ignition source. Because all of them have a damn hood, radiator and so forth. You got to shoot through if the guy or girl is ducking down inside of it. And again, on an automobile, same applies. In the United States and Canada, on the left is the driver. In Europe, Japan, I mean, shit, most of the world, it's on the right side. Australia. But anyway, let's zoom in on some of this to show you guys. Okay, let's say it's just a regular pickup truck. Okay. And we're going to use this as an illustration, but you know, I'm a Ford owner. I like my truck pretty damn good. Whatever side you happen to be closest to, someone is doing that kind of crap as that knucklehead up yonder in New York City. shoot the opposite tire out. That's going to make him have to fight with it to get it to turn in your direction. Don't shoot both of them out. It's actually easier for him to steer it in because both sides are equal. Okay? Then aim right at the bottom of the glass. Right there. Okay? If you are even above it any at all, shoot down through the cowling. Okay? The piece of sheet metal between the hood and the glass. Okay? I don't have any idea how these brand new Fords are made, or Chevrolets or Dodges. As far as I think they still have a cowling between the hood. The hood may run all the way up to the glass nowadays. I don't know. But right there, shoot down through it and it'll get through the instrument panel and so forth. Or if you're high enough, the shot would be going right down to them anyway, so it really wouldn't damn matter. But, you know, all these new motors, they're all electronic and all that crap. So who the hell knows where the sensors would be at, and how would you know if it's the inline 6-cylinder or the small V8 or the big V8 or even a V10? I don't know. I don't know crap about these new trucks, and quite frankly, at $50-something thousand for the base model, I don't really want it. And I'm not going to pick on Ford only. You know, same thing with your Chevrolets. If someone's trying to run you down with it, shoot the opposite tire out from the side you're nearest. So if you're nearest the driver's side and they're coming at you, shoot the opposite. They're going to have to correct to keep it coming at you. Now these real low profile tires like this, it's got the very short sidewall. It's not going to pull nearly as much as it would otherwise. I know this, the vehicles are not as stout as they once were, and you could possibly penetrate straight through, but there's so much crap in the way on these new modern engines, there's no freaking telling. You know, if there's a tree or anything, another vehicle you can get behind to use as cover, that would definitely be your best choice, or even better yet, into a building. But yeah, yep. On American vehicles and Canadian vehicles, for sure, the driver's side is always, from this perspective, would be the right-hand side, this side here.